spoiled and whatever you ask for, here you are. Hi.
Oh, that's Jalebi, by the way. That's an introduction to Jalebi. Jalebi.
Hello.
Hello. You want to say hello? By the way, if you like Jalebi, and if you like, by the way, I know we're talking about the fact that we're a mixed couple, but like, we're gonna be the next like power mixed couple. That's
Come
how I see
on.
it.
Anyway, let's not get into that. So back.
Priyanka and Nick.
Come on.
Out the way. Go.
Okay,
go.
aspirations. You know, aspirations.
All right, so bonjour, hello everyone, sasrikal, namaste, touch feet, здравствуйте, ahlan musahlan. My name is Ben.
Wow, you do know so many languages.
I know. This is my wife, Kritika. So Kritika and Ben, we are married. That's right, still married. 1 year. We just got to our first anniversary. Mm-hmm. Okay, so technically we've been about 1 year together. So I have many questions for my wife. I actually prepared like a little booklet with a bunch of questions. So we'll see. Nothing too raunchy. Nothing but
all censored.
That's right. And if anything comes up, if anything's too a little risque, we'll say, watch it. Just like cut me off, and we'll take that out.
All right,
obviously.
let's get started.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I want to ask you, what kind of questions are you expecting? What do you think I'm going to ask you?
Relationship oriented. I think
Okay. So you think about like mixed couple stuff? Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what to expect. Like it's a bunch of questions. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So we've been together for 1 year. So just to clarify.
I mean, we have been together for almost 3 years.
Yeah. Married for 1 year. Just a little bit about ourselves. Me, Ben, we're both immigrants. We live in Canada, but we're both immigrants. Kritika is from India, and I was born in Ukraine. I grew up in the Middle East. We might talk more about that. These are top spicy topics right now. So I'm gonna ask you a very obvious question about the fact that we've been married for about a year. So do you regret marrying me at all? Like, do you have any regrets?
You know the answer, obviously. No. We kind of joke about it, but I never, right.
Business decision,
right? Yourself,
Business decision, okay. Well, that was a softball, but
that was pretty quick. Okay.
That's right.
So we're doing like a quick.
That's a very obvious one, but Kritika, I must ask you a question.
Oh my God! Like
I have to ask you this very serious question. Okay, and this is particularly serious.
No, but I have to interrupt you. Well, how did you say my name? I'm sorry.
Kritika.
No, don't.
Kritika. I must ask you this question.
Don't.
So. This is obvious, okay, and we have to put it out there. I am white, right? I am a Gora man.
Clearly.
Right? You are an Asli Indian woman, Desi woman, Punjabi woman.
Yeah.
So, obviously people notice that we are a mixed couple.
Yes.
Okay. So my first question, and like I said, we're both immigrants here technically, but we met here in Canada. Mm-hmm. So we didn't grow up here. So my first question to you would be, and I think maybe there's like another 500 million, Indian women out there asking questions and wondering about this exact same question. Is it worth marrying outside of culture? Like, would you recommend that to anyone? Because in India, if for those of you who don't know, if you're, let's say, Punjabi, you can't marry like a Tamil. Well, you can, but people will judge you. Your parents might give you some shit.
I mean, it depends. Like
nowadays, it's a bit easier.
It's. I would say nowadays it's difficult. I'm too distracted by this. Anyway.
Our cat is right underneath our couch, so it's a bit distracting.
So it's different, definitely for sure. Like my personal experience was different, and everybody's experience would be different. But I don't regret marrying out of culture. I think I changed a lot after I moved out, and my priorities were different in life. So I guess that's the answer. Like pretty safe.
Because it's pretty different. So just a bit more about yourself. You're originally from Jammu, from J&K, what I guess used to be called J&K.
Yeah.
You're from Jammu.
Yes.
You are a Punjabi Hindu woman, Indian woman. My background, I am obviously you can see I'm Western, but my background is I am Russian, Ukrainian, and I grew up in the Middle East. So I'm Jewish, you know, Yehudi hai, मैं Yehudi हूँ. So there is quite of a difference. So there's an ethnic, there's a cultural, religious difference. So how did your parents react to, like, how long did it take you to even tell them?
Oh, a long time.
And I want this on record because this specifically I want my grandkids to know about this. I want this on record, so by all means, be as honest as you can.
I mean, it was okay. Like, I first told about you to my brother and my sister-in-law. Those, I think, were the first people to know about it. Then I think I was more scared to tell my sister than I was to my
because I remember speaking
mom.
to Bhaiya. I remember speaking to your brother first, and he was like the one to test the waters. He was
exactly.
The one to kinda,
He's always the
first
one to test the waters. Yeah. Exactly. But it was I would say it was fun. It was a fun conversation that I had. My mom specifically was very like, she was okay, but like, she was scared to tell dad because she was like, you know, your dad is not going to agree and this and that, you know.
Did you think he wouldn't agree to it? Like, before you told him, did you think he would, like, flat out said no, go to fucking shadi.com?
Hey, no F words, come on.
I'll censor that, no worries, we'll censor that.
Okay.
But would you, like, did you think he would expect you only to go to, like, shadi.com and meet specifically, like, Punjabi guy from Jammu?
They did introduce me to a couple of guys, like, it just didn't work out, like, it's just that. And I told them, look, I have this until this end of the year. I think it was 2019. I gave myself up until that point because, you know, dating can be frustrating, and, you know, you're trying to find somebody you resonate with. It's hard to find, you know. There are a bunch of things to consider when you're trying to find a life partner. So I think I had given myself that much time up in 2019 that... Can you stop smiling?
I mean,
anyway.
There's a camera.
Yeah. Back to the story. So, I had given myself that much time, and I thought that, you know, I'll have fun. I'll not think about it. I'm not thinking about any, you know, serious stuff or not serious stuff. Like, I wasn't thinking anything at all at that point. And I was like, you know, we'll just go with the flow. And I was being introduced to a couple of guys from my family side. I was meeting guys. So it was like a whole process for a couple of months, and I ended up meeting you, and here we are, 3 years.
Did you... Okay, so growing up, did you just assume you're going to marry a guy who's exactly from, like, inside your culture, same religion, same everything?
I mean, that's...
From your hometown, Jammu?
Yeah, I mean, like, not specifically from my hometown. I was...
But you never thought you'd marry some Gora dude from Canada? Like,
absolutely not. Like, it would be... It was probably the last thing I ever thought about. Like, you know, like, it's hard to find a partner as is.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's
let alone
difficult,
within your culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so I was open. My mind was open, and...
But what about
my parents,
Mama and Papa were there?
They were expecting me to get married to an Indian guy. Like has to be Indian, doesn't matter south or north. Like, has to be from...
So if it was like some dude from, like, Bangalore, it wouldn't be an issue?
No, absolutely no.
Okay.
No, absolutely no. I mean, my parents, like, maybe because I'm the youngest, so they kind of had the experiments.
They spoil the youngest.
Yeah, they spoil the youngest, like, you know, like, so just an FYI, I have an older brother and a sister, so...
That's right.
And we're, like, a little bit apart, like 10 years from my sister and 9 years from my brother, so...
That's right.
So I'm the youngest one in the family, and I was always pampered, I would say, so I would always have the support of my mom, my sister, you know, everybody thought of me as, like, the baby of the house, you know.
The baby always gets spoiled.
Exactly,
that's
like, yeah, you always get spoiled, and whatever you ask for, here you are, hi.
Oh. That's Jalebi, by the way. That's an introduction to Jalebi.
Hello.
Hello. You want to say hello? By the way, if you like Jalebi, and if you like, by the way, we're like, I know we're talking about the fact that we're a mixed couple, but, like, we're gonna be the next, like, power mixed couple. That's
Come
how I see
on. Anyway, let's not get into that. So back.
Priyanka and Nick.
Come on.
Out the way. Go.
Okay,
go.
Aspirations. You know, aspirations. Anyway.
So you're back to your parents.
Yeah.
So you think, were you scared to tell them?
I wasn't.
So you never thought at any point they might be like, no? Absolutely not. They would veto your
I mean,
choice.
yes, my dad was like that. He was like, no, and there were like a lot of questions about your religion, your culture. They didn't really know. Initially, they thought that like I was completely marrying outside my culture, which was.
I'm Jewish, and most people, I think not just in North India, but across Southeast Asia, most people are not too familiar with Jewish people.
I would say older generation, like who are not exposed to the world.
Yeah.
Like my parents live in a small town, so it was just as is. Like when you
have like your own mentality,
exactly,
your own
worldview is not that like
exactly.
Not that I'm saying that my worldview is like great, but I have.
You can pat yourself on the back.
I mean, it is. I mean, come on, like it's like. You learn as you grow, as you age. You experience things, you experience relationships, you experience heartbreaks, you experience, joys and sorrows, and there's a lot to learn in your 20s, I think. So
speaking of 20s, so I have a question about you specifically coming to Canada in your early 20s.
Yeah.
We were just talking to my sister actually when we're suggesting to her that your early 20s are kind of like the time to travel.
Exactly.
And that's sort of when you moved to Canada actually. What you were, 22, 23?
I think I was 23.
23.
I mean, I don't want to tell the year, like I don't want to tell the
early 20s, let's say early 20s. You were in your early 20s.
Yes.
Now she's still a young woman. She's a very beautiful, young, luscious woman. She's obviously in her 20s still. But Hello, you have a point?
Anyway.
She also thinks you're young.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But okay, so here's the deal. So we were just talking to my sister. We were saying that you should travel in your 20s. You arrived here with no family. You have no family in North America for the most part. I mean, yeah.
I do, but
very distant
family.
Yes. Not someone. I mean, yes, someone you can rely on, but not for like months and years on end. So you're kind of on your own. That's a big deal. That's a big thing for someone from India, a young woman in her early 20s, to just come to North America, to Canada specifically, to Ottawa. We live in Ottawa.
Yes.
In Canada's capital. So tell me more about that. And my question before you get into the details is, do you regret coming to Canada? If you had a choice to stay and still meet me, yes, I know, and still meet me and still know me,
yes,
would you want to come here?
Absolutely. Like I think that was the best decision. Like the circumstances of the decision were different, but I think getting an education in Canada and meeting you and experiencing so many things in life, like I grew as a human being. Had I stayed in my hometown or in India, I think my life would have been completely different regardless. It's just okay. It's just
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Anyway, I think it's just focusing on me. It's just not looking.
No. Don't worry. It's good.
Okay. Anyway, so back to the point. My life was different, or would have been different if I were in India. So it's different when I'm here. So
what is it, juice? It's okay. Don't bother. Okay.
Just gonna keep me
Carry
up.
on.
Anyway, so it would have been different, absolutely, but I don't regret my decision to come to Canada. The experiences that I have, I wouldn't trade it for anything, as a matter of fact. Like it was a journey, and I am happy that I took it, and I'm a better person, and here I am with you. That's the most amazing thing. Yeah.
So lesson from the story: come to Canada. This is where you're gonna meet your Gora husband.
I mean,
come to Canada, settle down here.
Or Gori wife.
Oh yeah, Gori wife. Yeah, that's right. You never know. That's right. You never know.
Yeah, it's one of the questions I get asked, like from people, like, how is it like to date like or be with the guy who's like not Indian, like a white dude, or like a I'm not gonna like it's just not like Gora or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like somebody out of your culture.
Yeah.
So how is it like to date somebody out of your culture? And I would say it's an experience. Like you experience their the lifestyle, the food, and you experience a lot of things.
So the way I see it, marrying outside of culture comes with. I mean, look, you don't have to sugarcoat it. It does come with difficulties.
It has challenges. Yes, absolutely. It has challenges.
Absolutely.
I think the challenges are there, but if you really love that person and if you really want to be with that person, it's different. Like the journey is different. I mean, but all in all, I think it's an experience that I wouldn't have given up for anything else. Like everything I went through is lessons learned, and made me become, who I am.
It is who you are, yeah.
Exactly, it made
me
my
who you are.
exactly my existence.
Absolutely.
That's who I am as a person.
Absolutely. Like immigration, I'm not gonna we're not gonna sugarcoat it. Immigration can be difficult.
It is.
Like,
it is.
For me, I came to Canada with my family, so I was about 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
We came from Israel. You were a bit older. You were in your early 20s. You were by yourself. You didn't come with family, so it's a little different context. But still, it's difficult to just leave your friends, your family, everyone behind.
Yeah.
It's not an easy process, but it makes you stronger. It makes you who you are, and definitely I feel like I'm a stronger person going through that.
Absolutely, it's.
Like I have a much more well-rounded view of the world and different cultures now that we're like.
Yes, immigrants have. Yeah. I think immigrants have the, they can see the difference, the culture, the society, the way of living in Canada versus India, and the facilities and everything.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's worth moving. That's what I would say to people. Like if you're thinking or if you're young, it's worth moving.
Mm-hmm.
To have a better life in general,
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
what I think. If you call me, I'm talking like India's like losing resources, sure it is, but India is not doing anything to keep the resources home.
Yeah. And it's competitive, and they're not doing much about it. It's super competitive. Like
it is. It's
India.
absolutely.
I mean, I guess it's just such a surplus of people, and a lot of them are competent people. So competition is freaking.
Exactly, and there is a lot of talent.
Yeah. That's why a lot of talent is leaving.
But the opportunity is not there, and I think if people like me can move out of the country, if they have the means to move out of the country, I think they should absolutely do it. Like for me it was different, for you it was different, but we made it.
Absolutely. And look, the very least thing I can say about immigration, I always say this to you specifically, that at the very least Canada gave me my wife, right? So
that's a blessing. Yes, that's true.
So at the very least I met Kritika. And that alone is more than worth my entire experience of immigration, for better for worse.
Exactly.
So I guess that answers the question.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you again, going back to the mixed marriage part, because I have to milk this. We have to. This is like
Sure.
Okay, so if let's say I wasn't who I am, if let's say I was an Indian guy, would that change anything at all? You're not with me because of.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. The circumstances were different. When when I told about you, like it took me like a year to convince them. Like I had to slow poison them.
Were you nervous?
Just give a little bit.
Like just to give you some context, right now, a few months ago, we came back from Dubai. We have family in Dubai. Didi lives in Dubai, and Gigi. So I got to meet basically the whole
family,
basically the whole family. And were you nervous before? Because I can be with Indian customs. I can be with an Indian family and not stick out too much, even though the way I look.
For sure, yeah.
But were you nervous? Did you think I would mess it up somehow? I mean, have any gaffes? Were you nervous at all before I met them?
No. Knowing you, I mean, you are a well-rounded person. I mean, yeah, for sure. We'll talk about it sometime.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you're a well-rounded person, and I think you are a kind of personality who would. Who can drive a conversation, who can keep the party going without people getting bored. And I mean that's a quality I really like about you, and I was not worried about you that and I knew that you wouldn't be the food would be okay, and you'll have
I'm totally comfortable with Indian food. I have no issues. Some people are weird with other cultures. They can't eat other cultures' food. I think because I'm Jewish, that kind of helps. I'm very much like a elastic kind of culture. I guess blend in everywhere.
Exactly, and your upbringing was like that. You were born in Ukraine, and then your family moved to Israel, and then you guys moved to Canada. So there were a lot of immigrations that happened in your life. I think that kind of.
Canada is technically my second immigration, so I got to kind of live through something.
Yeah, few immigrations, and your parents did an amazing job, and.
Good job, parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so a question I have to ask you, and for our viewers or potential viewers or whoever you're out there watching
or
this,
our kids or grandkids.
Yeah, grandkids.
That's why we're doing
100 years from now, great grandkids watching this.
If YouTube is around, for sure.
Yeah, hopefully if YouTube and if Alphabet is still around. So here's something you need to know about Kritika, my wife.
Okay.
Meri Patni. Okay.
Okay.
My wife.
Okay.
So my wife is a very successful woman, just so you know.
I'm not. Come on.
And she's a little bit older than me. I'm a little bit younger. I'm about a year and a half younger. So I have this theory, due to the fact that my wife, Kritika, the fact that you're making, I mean, you're a very successful woman, let's put it that way. So I have this theory that I'm a little bit of a trophy husband, considering that I'm a little bit younger than you. You know, I think I'm a relatively handsome guy. You know, so what do you think about that?
I don't look at you as a trophy husband for sure.
Okay.
That's 100%.
Okay.
And I think a value of a person isn't measured with how old they are or how much money they make. It's always about balance in a relationship. As long as you have the balance and the respect, you have the love, I think these things are insignificant. Like how much you make or how much the age gap is or whatever it is, you know. Love is the most powerful thing, and if you have that, I think, yeah, if you have your answer, I don't see you as a trophy husband ever. Or haven't seen you as a trophy husband ever.
There you have it. I have that documented.
Yeah, okay. On tape, yes.
I'll throw a few quick ones at you. Do you think, have you ever thought I would cheat on you?
I'm very annoyed by that.
Hey, you, stop playing. On the way. You, come here. There you go. So, answer the question. What do you think?
Have I had a thought?
Yeah, would you ever... So, if let's say I'm traveling alone by myself somewhere. Okay, let's say I'm going somewhere. Do you have that, like, sneaky... I mean, we trust each other, 100%. This marriage is ironclad, okay?
Yes, okay, knock on the door.
And we trust each other a lot. Like, I trust you.
I trust you too.
Do you ever have that, like... If let's say I travel somewhere, let's say I'm going for like a business trip, whatever. Do you have like the thing in the back of your head thinking that maybe I'll cheat on you?
Never.
Never?
No. Without a hesitation, I can say I never thought about you cheating on me. And I think that's the last thing I think that you would do to me if you were to hurt me. That's what you would do, like you would cheat on me, because that's one thing I cannot take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. By the way, same, likewise, I trust you. Quick question for you. Without thinking too much, what's the hardest part about marriage? Like, there's downsides to marriage too. We love being married, but what's the hardest part?
Ooh, expenses.
Yeah, money. You gotta figure out money.
Money is the hardest. Like, it's like, you always like, somebody's making more, somebody's making less. You're always like, you know, who pays who, and it's just a confusion, you know. So I think that's one thing that we're still figuring out, how to live like together. It's obviously, marriage is about learning about each other, learning to be comfortable in each other's space,
and it never stops too.
It never stops. You
continue learning. You see couples in their 60s, 70s, whatever, even then they're still learning. They still haven't completely figured.
I mean, it's not about learning about each other. I also think it's learning yourself.
Yeah, I think most of it is yourself.
Most of it yourself. Like, I don't know, like, you know, I didn't know in the past what kind of cheese I like. Now I know, you know, I don't like specific kind of cheese, or I like this kind of cheese, or I like specific kind of wine, or I don't like specific kind of, you know, like I have started making more decisive choices in life, like, or
your taste has become more
exactly, like, because the more you explore, like, the more, you know, everything in general, everything you explore, I think you get better and better, and you start figuring it out. Oh, I like this, I don't like that, I want to be with this person. Okay.
Jalebi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta have this one on tape. Like this one specifically.
Okay. Yeah.
Straight from here to the will. Okay. Wait, hold on. First, are you gonna ask me what's the hard? For me, what's the hard?
I mean, I think that's for the next set of questions that I'm gonna do for you. That's gonna come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I have to say this. Okay, as a husband, anyone who's a future husband, the hardest parts are small shit, like small things. Okay, so for example,
constant nagging.
No, not even that. I was telling this to Kritika the other day that, like, for example, when I come back from work, like the hardest part about marriage is when you come home, and on the way from work, on the way home, you had a sandwich or like some chicken tikka wrap or something like that. But you're not.
That's a sin.
I'm not man enough to tell my wife that.
That's a sin.
That, like, I ate, so I have to lie to her and just eat chicken and rice.
I caught you
sadly.
twice.
And that's what marriage is in a nutshell. Just eating chicken and rice sadly, like forcing yourself to. Anyhow.
And I caught you twice.
Yeah.
The other day I caught you red-handed, and you were like literally in the middle of having a bite,
yeah, I
and I
was
walked
eating
up
like a
on
shawarma
you,
thing.
and you're like, "How the
Yeah.
hell are you home?" And I'm like,
She walked
well,
on me like, yeah.
I just went out for half an hour with my friend, and here you are.
I was being unfaithful.
I didn't know like Uber was that fast.
Yeah, I was being
like
unfaithful.
15
I was
minutes.
fast.
Like I was like,
Okay, speaking of fast.
okay. Anyway,
Imagine, okay, so this one for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say something happened to me. God forbid, you know, I left this mortal coil. Would you remarry?
no.
No? So you stay single, like widowed, whatever.
Huh. I don't know. Depends where I am in life.
Yeah, what if like a honky, like 20-year-old, 25-year-old,
No.
like with like six-pack abs, be like, hey, hey there, with all this wealth, I can show you, you know?
No, I mean,
Show you the ropes.
look, I don't weigh a man by how he looks or how much he makes. I weigh a man by his character. You have to.
And yet you picked a guy who, you know, was clearly successful and is handsome.
Yeah, right.
As I am, you know. So clearly, you know, it does make, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I judge a man by their character, like their family values, how they are with their family, what relationship they have with their sister, their brother, or you know, their like mom or dad or whoever. Like I think that matters to me the most as a person. That you know how my partner is with their family and like how open they are, and yeah,
Priorities.
Priorities in life are
Yeah.
very important. I think not about just you and me, or just me in specific. I think everybody should look that in a partner. Like
Look at values. Like,
exactly.
Like for us, even though we were different culturally, like for me, I wanted to marry a Jewish girl. I know that Kritika also assumed she would probably marry an Indian guy at some
Yes.
point. So we had our differences, but the main thing that we bonded over, like the one thing we knew is going to stick around even after we stop. I mean, right now we look good, obviously, but 40 years from, we're not going to look as good. But the main thing is going to stick around, is going to have like staying power, is the values. Like,
Exactly.
we have the same values,
Looks
same kind of
fake.
mentality, same worldview on life
Exactly.
and work and family. So
your mentality should like match with the other person. Like that's how you can live together. That's how you can survive together. And I think that's really hard these days. Like everybody I talk to is like, you know, I can't find a partner. Or
yeah,
this
I
or
know
that.
so
Like,
many people, even in conservative societies, even back in India. Like we know how many friends do we have in their late 20s, early 30s, women too, like who are looking for guys
it's hard.
and they can't find a partner. So
It's hard. Like dating.
we're
is,
lucky. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. We are lucky.
Very lucky.
Like we are very lucky. We keep on
Very
doing it.
fortunate.
But
Yeah, we are very fortunate.
it's hard to find a partner who is loyal these days.
Who's like you, who's loyal and has
Your
the same kind of
values,
worldview.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. It's really hard. Like I can't imagine.
Okay, last question. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna go to India soon. We're going to our nephew's Munden.
Yes.
Munden. It's gonna be a whole shebang.
That's
it's gonna be a
his
big.
first haircut ceremony.
Yes, that's right. And we would be in India for a while. We're gonna meet a bunch of people. It's gonna be a big function. Function means like a big ceremony, big
Party.
get together. So we'll be there. So, what's your concern? Like you true. Originally, you are an Indian, right?
Yeah.
That's true. She's an Indian. She was born in India.
100%.
Asli Indian woman.
Even
okay?
took the DNA
Desi
test?
woman. Yes, she's full Punjabi woman.
Not full, like
Yeah.
97%.
But you've lived in Canada now for a good 6 years now.
Yes.
6-7 years almost. Do you feel like you've changed now that we're gonna go back to India? Would it be weird for you to
That's
go
a
back?
very good question. Yes, absolutely.
Tell me more about that,
yes.
because I'm curious about that.
Because I think
Do you feel like you're whitewashed?
I wouldn't say whitewashed, but I think the culture here is different. The way of living here is different. It's this. The food is different, and like the past 2 years haven't done anything better to me. Like I think I forgot what it was like to like the temperature or people or like whatever. It's different. I'm not saying that, oh my god, I was kind of born in Canada always and I can't take it. Yes, I can, absolutely. But it's just going to come with an adjusting period. How long that adjusting period would be, I don't know. It should be pretty quick. I think you just feel uncomfortable initially in any situation, and then you get into it and you just kind of work your way through. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Just take it by the day.
I think people like us, I always say this to Kritika, immigrants like us who are like first generation Canadians or first people in North America, we're always going to be like 1 foot here, 1 foot there. We're always going to be like 1 foot in Canada, 1 foot back in our country of origin. In your case, India. My
Yeah,
case,
exactly.
Israel or
Like I
Ukraine.
am in the West, but my heart is in the East.
Exactly.
Right? And that's your tattoo there too.
Exactly. I got it tattooed on me. So, look, so we're always gonna have that in the back of our heads. Like, there's always gonna be that Indianness that you're gonna have, even 40 years from now, when your passport's gonna say Canadian since whatever. You're still gonna be a little bit Indian, but it would take you some time. Like, you would have to kind of readjust to it. Basically, we need you a week or two to readjust to the Indianness.
Yes, I think so. I think it's a tad bit different, but I think your family makes you comfortable. It's just a transition period. Like, you feel awkward in a new place. Like, I'm sorry, it just happens that you would just feel a little bit awkward, and then you're just gonna get into it. But yeah, I have changed, if that's the question. Absolutely, yes.
I think the biggest part is the mentality. Like, over there, it's a change of mentality. Here in the West,
culture too.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're almost like spoiled socially here. Like, you get to kind of do whatever you want, and it's not that no one judges, but nobody cares. You're a very individualistic society here in Canada.
I mean, yeah.
But in a warm society like Indian society, it's more. People do judge each other. People look at each other, and they kind of almost self-regulate. You kind of have to kind of.
I think it's the Asian society.
Yeah, I think it's an Asian thing. It's an Eastern thing.
Yeah, it's an Eastern thing. I think that's how we are.
Absolutely.
Like, other people's opinion matter more than how we think about ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, it just.
You gotta save face always.
Yeah, you know, like, the good side of you should always be shown to people, and the bad side stays within the four walls of your house. I think that's how it's always been, and that's how it always is, because some questions you can ask here very comfortably to people, like, but those questions,
but it would be considered like disrespectful.
Exactly. And then I think when you live in a setting, for example, in a society, for a few years, you kind of get adapted and feel comfortable asking those questions, rather than, you know, thinking about, oh, it's inappropriate in that other culture. So
it takes time to kind of readjust back to a different culture. Like, for me, when I was sitting with the whole family, like the whole Indian khandan, like everyone just, I remember the main thing that kind of took me time to adjust is, for example, in Canada, we say thank you for everything. Like, you can be, somebody gives you chai, somebody gives you coffee, somebody gives you whatever, you say thank you immediately for everything. If somebody holds the door, you say thank you. In Indian culture or just Asian culture, you don't say thank you as much. You thank them by doing something for them back. You find a way to thank them.
Very interesting observation.
But you don't like say thank you for everything. Like, for example, if I did something for someone within the Indian side of the family, they wouldn't just say, oh, thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you. They wouldn't say that so much. They would show it in other ways, but they wouldn't explicitly say it. So it took some time to kind of adjust culturally.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Interesting. I never saw that difference. See, that's the differences.
See, we have good observations, good conversations. See, this is a very wholesome situation. So to finish off with that,
I think it's a good time to.
It's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're going to India soon. You're going to be in India in about a week or two. About a week and a half.
Actually, next week.
We will definitely document that. So stick around. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff to follow through. And at the very least, that our kids are going to look good. And you want to stick around to see that at the very least. So I would subscribe and hit the like button. And exactly. Yeah. It's a good hook to get you interested.
Okay. So, all right. I'm out.
All right. So, all right. Let's get the hell out of here. You guys subscribe to join the content. Yalla bye. Yalla. Chalo, take bye. Bye. See? That was fun.
Stop it now.